All right, today we're talking about Cooper Beebe in our second Cooper Beebe YouTube film review, talking about his big-time performance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers during the end of the 2024 campaign. Beebe is going to be a star for this Cowboys offense, and we'll break down with some high-quality footage for you guys today. If you're interested in more Beebe clips, more film reviews, and content like this in general, become a member of my Patreon account, All 22 with Nick Rudman. There's a link in the description box below. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, sticking with the running game, we've got kind of an outside running concept here for the Dallas Cowboys. It's a very interesting blocking scheme. So basically, they do a couple kind of pin and pull. So they block down, the guard does here, on this, I'm going to call them a one technique on the outside shoulder of the center. Remember, 0 is head up. A 2-eye technique is inside shoulder of the guard. He's on the outside shoulder of the center, so we call that a one technique. But we're going to get the guard blocking down on the one technique and the center wrapping inside like this to pick up a linebacker. We're going to get tight ends basically blocking down here, working up to the next level, and then the tackle pulling to pick up the edge defender, fullback leading the way through here, running back following everyone just like this. Again, kind of a funky concept. It requires a lot of athleticism. Ends up not working too well from the Dallas Cowboys, but again, I want people to focus on Cooper Beebe. He doesn't deliver an outstanding block, but he shows off good athleticism that I think with more experience will give the Cowboys a lot of versatility going forward. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap, there's the toss. You can see it becomes kind of a huddled mess there. Not a great play for the Cowboys. You can see tight ends kind of blocked down, tackle try and works out. 78 Steele doesn't do a terrible job. Tight ends don't do a terrible job. Overall, though, just not great execution. Buccaneers, good defense. Give credit where credit is due. But let's watch Beebe as an athlete right here. This is really tough as a center. You've got to clear this down block. He does a great job. Get north and south. He gets a little wider than I want. That's the one thing. And I know it's a toss, and that's where it gets really tough here. At a certain point, you got to figure out your target and get north and south and try and get a hat on a hat. I think he actually does a pretty good job staying as wide as he can, because I think the way this play is actually designed, it's supposed to kind of run right off number 78's butt right here, but he gets forced inside because it's such a mess. But I think Cooper Beebe takes the track that he does. He's hoping to get to the play side or backside linebacker. He ends up getting on one of them and delivers a decent shot. Not a perfect rep from Beebe, but overall good athleticism. You talk about knowing your assignment, doing your job, and getting your feet and body in a good position. Cooper Beebe is a good athlete at center. I expect the Cowboys to use him in a lot of polls going forward. All right, from the wide copy, you'll get a good look at Beebe right there. Watch him clear the guard, take the width, get a hat on a hat. Again, you would like his head to get closer to the boundary side of this linebacker. You see how where it all ends up if I can freeze it. You can see Cooper Beebe's head is to the right here to the field side of this linebacker. You want to get at least head up, or more, ideally have your head on the boundary side right there where the cursor is. Instead, allows 51 to become part of the tackle. Again, it's not a great play overall for Dallas. I like the athleticism. I like the effort. I like the physicality. Just cleaning up your head placement, and this could be a really nice rep from Cooper Beebe. All right, this next play here is definitely not one of Cooper Beebe's best. So we're going to get a inside zone concept here to the offensive left, the left side of your screen. We're going to get 71 working out. We're going to get 73 trying to base and reach. And we're going to get double teams right here working up this defensive lineman, this one technique again, working up to this linebacker just like this. And this is a pretty tough block, a pretty tough concept. The way the play is actually kind of designed to work out is the tackle works out. 73 tries to reach him and base 94. 94 is forced a little wide because of it. So you get kind of a seal here. You have the backside cutoffs, everyone over here. So you get a seal here. And then these two guys, you get double teams here working up, and you get a hat on a hat, and the running back just follows the double team. That's how it's supposed to work. In order to do that, you need, like we saw before, we need good movement, and you need to get up to the linebacker. Beebe does not do his job well enough here. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. We can see the inside zone track everyone for the Dallas Cowboys. You can see 71, 73 working out. There's the kind of seal to the defense. And you can see it's almost designed to be a cutback, but because there's so much garbage right in 23's face right away, and they don't get any movement, right? It's right. He's got all these bodies right here. He doesn't have a clear picture. You got to dent the defense either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. And 56 and 67 don't get it done. Beebe's too tall. His feet are too high. His body and head's not in a great position. This is just not a great rep here from Cooper Beebe. And right here's what I really don't like. Linebackers there, fire off, get a piece of him. He kind of falls, misses him. Not a good play for the Dallas Cowboys. There's going to be a holding penalty on top of it. This is something definitely to work on. This is a tough block here because you know you have to give help to this defensive tackle while working up to the next level. That means you have to come off with more authority, not less. He tries to go too horizontal, too quick. He's a little slow, results in a bad play for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, going back to some pass pro, there is Cooper Beebe, of course, right there in the middle of your screen. So the Cowboys are going to slide their protection to the left. 71 is going to take this gap. 73 is going to take this gap. Cooper Beebe is going to take this gap. And we're going to get one-on-one here on the backside, right guard, one-on-one on that three technique, right tackle, one-on-one on this defensive end. How it's going to shake out here is we're going to get some kind of funky stunt here on the left, but Cooper Beebe does a great job with patience. He just sets and waits for his guy to come into his gap and delivers a nice punch. I love the patience from Cooper Beebe on this rep. Let's check it out. All right, there's the snap. We can see we're running a stunt. We're running a blitz to the Cowboys left right there. Watch Cooper Beebe. Let me go back up to the very beginning here. Watch his patience, He sits and waits to see who's coming in his gap. He's got his eyes really on this defensive tackle, but he's also in a position to pick up a blitzing linebacker if need be. He doesn't overextend. He's not over-aggressive. He turns his shoulders to take over that gap, and when the defensive lineman shows and declares, he puts him in the ground. This is good stuff, right? Now, look, you do have a defensive end coming around. The Cowboys do a decent job picking it up. Quarterback is able to escape the pocket pretty easily. You could say in a perfect world, hey, Cooper Beebe, should you have handed off this defensive lineman to number 73? That's kind of asking too much. This guy got past clearly number 73 right there in terms of the stunt. He's in your gap. Pick him up and finish the play. Like that from Cooper Beebe. Again, gives your quarterback a chance. All right, from the wide copy, you can see right there, he delivers a good shot and finishes the play. Love the finish. Does a good job, 90% of his reps with his finish. But his patience here, watch how he's reacting. He's saying, okay, who's coming into my gap? No one yet, no one yet, no one yet. All right, there he is. Now I'm going to make the play. You have to have the patience in pass protection, whether in gap or man. Once someone declares in your gap protection, make the play and do it assertively. Sometimes you may not be 100% correct. Sometimes it could become a bit of a cluster when all these stunts and games are going around from the defensive perspective. But if you identify someone who is in your gap, who is not being blocked, and you do an assertive, aggressive job, you give your quarterback a chance, and that's exactly what happened here with the Dallas Cowboys. All right, this is one of my favorite plays from Cooper Beebe the entire game and frankly the entire season. So what we're going to get here is just a normal kind of inside run concept, inside zone for the Dallas Cowboys. 78's working out. 67's going to take this gap and then work up to the next level. Cooper Beebe's working to take over him, but really he's responsible for this gap. 73's working to this gap and then working up to the next level. We got a backside cutoff here and a backside cutoff here. The way it's actually going to shake out, the Buccaneers do a lot of funky slants here. So they're going to actually have their defensive tackle, this 2-eye technique. I'm going to call him a 2-eye, inside shoulder, inside eye of the guard there. He's going to work across this way just like that. So it's going to end up being a double team with Beebe and 73 working up to the next level as 78 works out and 67 works up. This is a really great effort by Beebe, again, in terms of patience and recognition. Because anytime you have a double team, right, you get on these guys, you get hip to hip, you work up, you work up, you work up. And if your linebacker flashes over the top, then you pick him up, right? Then you come off. If he doesn't flash, you stay on the double team. It's really hard to do. It takes a lot of patience. Beebe does a great job. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see 67 works up, 78 works out. You can see the double team right here. They get on 50, and you can see Beebe right there. He's already got his eyes up for his linebacker, but he stays on him. The linebacker flashes to his guard side, to the left guard number 73 side. Beebe doesn't leave. Beebe stays on the double team. Look at this great job right here across the board from the Dallas Cowboys. This is one thing where if I'm the running back, man, if you could have been really assertive and just attacked this hole, this could have been a really nice play. Ends up being a decent little run, but this is one of the things that can happen if your running back's not assertive or if the play doesn't work out perfectly. Again, this is why defenses like to do stunts in games to kind of confuse the picture for everyone. But this is a really nice job play side by the Dallas Cowboys. Beebe and Smith do a good job. Smith 73. They get on the nose guard on this defensive tackle number 50 right here. Decent movement, not great, but decent movement, but they get hats on hats, and Beebe does a great job staying patient. He doesn't leave this defensive tackle because right here, you can make an argument that 73 is too much caught in it. He should come off and work up to 54, and Beebe's still in a position to be on number 50 right there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 54 ends up doing a nice job looping around and pretty much making the play before it's all said and done. At least makes the running back really bubble it out and kind of limits the damage here for the Bucs defense. But overall, Beebe does a nice job recognizing, reacting, staying on the double team, finishing the play. Nice work. From the wide copy, you get a good look at it right here. Watch Beebe gets on him, and he's got his eyes right there. He's looking at this linebacker. He knows he's responsibility if he comes this way, but Beebe, eyes on him, stays on the double team. Linebacker goes around. He turns right there and seals off number 50. Great work from the young center. All right, sticking with the running game with the Dallas Cowboys, we're going to get an inside zone concept here to the offensive left, the left side of your screen. So the Cowboys, how it's going to shake out, 71 is going to work up to the defensive end. 73 is going to try and base reach number 94. Cooper Beebe at center right here. He is going to take an angle here to protect this gap. Remember, it's zone. That's his gap. He's going to deliver help if need be and then work up to this linebacker safety type. It's going to put a lot on 67. He's got to do one of two things. He's either got to cut off this defensive tackle or wash him down so the running back can cut behind him. Let me clean up the screen here. That's kind of messy. So how it's going to shake out is you're going to get block there, secure, block there. So you're going to get a massive seal here. And then you need number 67 to either push number 90 this way or to cut him off. And basically what you're trying to do from Beebe's perspective is to make sure these two guys here get dislocated, right? You want them blown completely out of the way, so that way the running back here, when he's looking at his cutback, has nothing but green grass to view here when he's trying to read number 50 for the defense. So Cooper Beebe's job right here, deliver a dislocation, deliver a shock, and then get up to the next level. He does a nice job. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see Beebe work to the left. There's that shock. Up to the next level. Nice finish. Great work from number 56 here. I'd love to see this. Again, athletic play. Long way to run, right? Gets on 94. Blows him out of the way. Look at that dent in the defense. Let's look at where number 94, number 29 start. So 94 starts and 29 right behind him, about 3 yards to the left of this hash. Where do they end up? I mean, all the way by the numbers, folks. That is movement. That is denting the defense. In fact, if you look at, compare them to the defensive end, both those guys end up outside the defensive end. That is denting the defense. That's winning football on the play side. Now, on the back side, these are hard blocks, but this isn't getting it done, right? You need a better cutoff there. You need to either get number 50 on the ground, or you need him wash him down. He gives up penetration. 50 is able to kind of blow the play up. And look, Vita Vea is a good player, right? Nothing against 67. This is why he gets paid millions of dollars. But right here from Cooper Beebe, this is a really nice rep. That's how you draw it up. All right, from the wide copy, get a good look at it here. Watch him deliver that punch on 94, then work up to number 29 and completely seal. So you talk about dislocating the defense. That's what you're looking for in the zone game, right? And I think 73 and 56, and of course they've got Booker, the right guard, added into the mix too for their future offensive line. This is what we're going to see a lot from the Cowboys, getting movement, denting defenses, and relying on running backs to get good reads. You need backside blocks in order for these plays to work, but it begins and ends with guys like Cooper Beebe delivering movement up front. All right, how about some athleticism for the young center? There he is right there at, of course, the center position. So we're going to get a toss here from the Dallas Cowboys working this way. You can't see it. There's a wide receiver on the outside of your screen here. He's going to pin this defensive end right here. You probably can't see him too well either on the far left side of your screen. And 71 is going to pull outside. 73 is going to secure this defensive tackle right here. Beebe's got to get on his horse there, and he's got to find a way. Imagine this, folks. He's going to block 54. It's an outside run. 54 is staring right at the running back, and Beebe's responsibility is to get to him and give this play a chance. This doesn't make any sense schematically. When you watch this, the way X's and O's, Y's, and personnel, again, offensive lineman, linebacker. Not so fast, very fast. Despite all of that, Beebe does a really nice job. Let's check it out. There's a snap. We can see the pin right there. We can see the offensive tackle work up to the next level. Look at Beebe get on his horse, deliver the block. Nice play. This is almost impossible. Look at his angle. You talk about picture perfect. You got to run, like I mentioned earlier, off the heels of this defensive lineman, and he does it. Look how he flattens out, gives this guy a chance. I want to be very clear, folks. When I watch this play on film, I don't think there's 3 other centers in the NFL that have this level of athleticism. This is bonker stuff, and this is a fast, rangy, athletic Bucs defense. 54 is a veteran. He's seen a lot of football. For him to be flattened out like that and be a good athlete and deliver the block, no penalty, no holding, clean block too. You see how right there he turns and gets his head on the right side. You're talking about head placement, so that way no penalty, right? If he had his head maybe behind him, the ref may think that's a block in the back. Instead, he gets his head and body in front of him, cuts him off. Clean play, opens up the hole. This is a great rep from Cooper Beebe. You talk about all-pro, future star up front for the Dallas Cowboys. This is the stuff that gets me excited. All right, thank you for watching this film review. The good news is this is just part 1 of this series. If you want access to the rest of the content, the rest of the plays, become a member of my Patreon, all 22 with Nick Rudman. There's a link in the description box below that will take you right there. Once again, Patreon account, my account, all 22 with Nick Rudman. We've got all kinds of special content, deep dives, film reviews for you, the fan. Make sure you check it out, and I hope to see you there.